I'm on vacation back home in California, so I'm in a really good mood. And normally that would mean I'm going to be a little bit more tolerant of a movie, like able to look past its flaws. So when I saw that Amazon's War of the Worlds, brought to you by Amazon, was out, I got really excited. I was disappointed, as you can tell by the fact that I'm not even going to get up from the side of the pool to give this review. Normally, when I'm talking about a film, I try to dress up, do some nice lighting and all of that, but no, this film doesn't deserve any of that, just like Snow White. I love the writing of H.G. Wells. I read The Time Machine when I was about 13 and got totally hooked. He's one of the founding fathers of science fiction, and for more than a century, his books have taken teenagers on great adventures. He didn't just write The War of the Worlds, he wrote The Time Machine, The Invisible Man, The Island of Dr. Moreau, and a biology textbook. He was a multi-talented guy. So it was pretty annoying when I discovered that Amazon's War of the Worlds, brought to you by Amazon, is the worst movie I've seen all year. Like, even worse than Snow White. This is a book that's been adapted many times in many different ways, and I've seen a lot of fun versions of this story that don't exactly follow the original version, because you can imagine what the invasion would look like if it unfolded somewhere else, like, say, Boston or Grover's Mill, New Jersey. The original novel's set in Surrey, which is a suburban area just south of London, and that area gets completely destroyed in the book, which anyone in Britain who lives north of London would consider an improvement. Martians show up, desperate for Earth's resources, because their planet is kaput. They use heat rays and poison gas, and they suck human blood to stay alive. They're super mean. And then they die because humans are disgusting meat bags that are full of icky germs against which the Martians have no immunity. The War of the Worlds has action, peril, scary monsters, scarier weapons, traveling around, hiding, dealing with people who have lost their minds due to the crisis. And this new adaptation has Ice Cube sitting in front of a laptop having video chats with his kids. Ice Cube is a good actor, but he's only ever Ice Cube in a role, so it really doesn't matter that I can't remember the name of his character, and I'm just gonna call him Ice Cube. Ice Cube is the Department of Homeland Security, the whole thing, because he's apparently the only one who works there. But he's very bad at his job because he spends all day abusing his authority to spy on his kids so he can micromanage their lives. He's also super grouchy, but that's kind of fair enough because his wife died. Ice Cube's daughter is some kind of amazing scientist, and her boyfriend is an Amazon delivery guy. I'm throwing no shade at hardworking delivery people, but that's just not usually how those things go, and it was really clear that this was only in the movie for the sake of product placement. Ice Cube's son is a loser who lives in his dad's basement, and Ice Cube gives him a hard time about that and deletes his video games, which is the one decision this character makes that I agree with. At the beginning of the movie, Ice Cube is rude to Ava Longoria, who's some kind of weather scientist, and I don't approve of that because there's no reason to be rude to Ava Longoria, especially when she's calling to say the weather is super messed up and strange objects are landing on the Earth. The Martians in the original book are horrifyingly scary colonizers who are here to turn the blood of human beings into milkshakes, and then they travel around in freaky three-legged machines that fire heat rays and pump out poison gas. But the aliens in Amazon's War of the Worlds, brought to you by Amazon, eat data off computers. That makes sense if you're stupid. The main thing they did wrong with this movie was that every shot happens through a webcam, a phone camera, a news report, or a security camera. So it just looks cheap. And people are mostly just sitting all the time. The novel has lots and lots of movement as the character flees from one place to another trying to find safety, not just from the aliens, but from all the people who have lost their minds in the chaos. But if I want to see people sitting around, I can just look around and watch all the humans in my world just staring at their phones all day. The only thing this movie did right was the product placement. They say Amazon so many times. I give adaptations of books a score of from 1 to 5 Snapes based on how faithful they were to the source material, based as always on Alan Rickman's perfect portrayal of Severus Snape. So how did Amazon's War of the Worlds, brought to you by Amazon, do? The movie was called War of the Worlds. The alien machines did have 3 legs. It gets 1/4 of a Snape, taking the record low score from Disney's Snow White 2025. Congratulations! Now I'm done because I want to go swimming again and I don't want to talk about this dumb movie anymore.